Yo, 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 what's going on, good people? It's your homie Herb Man, and you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Hey, look, if it's your first time tuning in to the Herb Man Show or tuning in to Leaf of Essentials INC, go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen right there, and hit that notification bell so that you never ever miss an episode of the Herb of the Day or what we bring to the table on this platform, all right? Now, I wanted to talk to you guys today. This is not a how-to video. This is a why not, okay? We have all of the tools, all of the information that we need to do certain things. We know how to be healthy. We know how to eat. We know how to do our finances, okay? We know how to do a lot of these things. So that is not the problem. The problem is why not? Why we don't do what we already know we should be doing, okay? And this comes from what I would like to call a psychological effect, okay? The mental disorder, okay? Not necessarily talking about people who have real mental disorders, but talking about mental disorder, not having things in a prioritized understanding so that we don't put things where they need to be in our lives to have the greatest effect, okay? So what we're talking about right now is how to prioritize our health, how to prioritize our finances, how to build up the body, the mind, the soul, and our possessions in a orderly fashion in the way we should do it mentally, psychologically, chronologically. What order, what priorities are we giving to different things first, okay? Now, here's the thing. You can't do anything without your health, okay? So this video is not about how you should be healthy, but why you don't decide to do it as early as possible, okay? What order in your life do you have health? Is it under money, above money? Is it right below friends and family? What order do you have health in your life? There's an old saying that when you get on the airplane, they tell you, don the oxygen mask first, okay? Before you try to help your child or your friend or you know, a loved one or a stranger alike, you need to have the right amount of oxygen first. You need to be able to think right, breathe right, in order to help somebody else do the right things, okay? So what they're saying is save yourself first before you go and try to save someone else, okay? So with that being said, how many of us understand that putting ourselves first as far as the health is concerned is the best move anybody could make? And as soon as, the earliest you can make this commitment to yourself, dedicate this particular situation to yourself, the better off you would be for everybody else in your life. And we're talking to dads, moms, we're talking to children, we're talking to all of you guys. If you're trying to do anything for somebody else, then you have to understand that it takes you being in the right frame of mind first in order for you to give off the energy, give off the longevity, give off the assets, the possessions that you want to accumulate. You want to be able to give them off, but you want to be able to spend as much time in accumulating as you possibly can so that you can maximize what you're giving away, what you're leaving behind. And the only way we can do that is if we commit and understand that it takes understanding our health has to be our priority. So if you have kids, let them please watch this video. The sooner they like vegetables, the sooner they understand gardening and farming and how to grow your own foods, and as soon as they get the understanding of herbs and how all these things work together and that we're all a piece of nature and that we're all a part of this whole ball of life, the greater their chances are accumulating and living long, blessed, and abundant lives, okay? So as soon as the parents can understand this and they stop eating the foods that are causing the diseases and are causing the pain and is causing the suffering in the body, the sooner you can get over your situations. If you wait until the fourth quarter, not only will allopathic not work, but homeopathic won't work, naturopathic won't work because you waited too late. And now you have this thing called bioaccumulation, which I've said before in other videos, that will come and haunt you. And by the time bioaccumulation hit us, it's too late. there's nothing that can save us. There's nothing that we can do. So in understanding that, why don't we do what we know we should do? Okay? That comes from the mental disorder, mental misprioritization. Okay? Not putting ourselves first. We don't know why we don't put ourselves first. We want to put ourselves first. We know that life is precious. We know that our health is key, but we can't seem to stop eating the starchy foods and the fatty foods and the sugary foods. We understand that we want to be here for our children, but we can't get out and exercise and get out and be mobile, and we can't tear away from the sedentary lives that we live in. We understand that we want to be here to be a guidance, to be a armor bearer, to be a pillar of our communities, but we can't seem to put the right moves in place to get to where we want to get to. So this has to be more of a mental thing, a psychological warfare that has took a toll on us as individuals and as a community of humanity. That we seek convenience and fast foods and fast results from things, than slow cooking, than gardening that will take a little while for you to see results, studying to show thyself approved that will take a little while for you to get the experience and the knowledge and the wisdom that is necessary. So we on this fast track to death, this fast track to unhealthiness. But not one of us wants to die. Not one of us wants to be unhealthy. So this is why I call this the mental disorder. So what we need to start turning the tides in is not talking to you about how to, but why not? What is stopping you from being the person, the individual that you want to be? What is enabling you to continue down a dangerous path? What do you need in order to motivate you to push through, to get to your designated goal? What is the stumbling blocks that are going on? What are some of your thoughts that keep you smoking day in and day out, drinking day in and day out, hanging around the wrong crowds day in and day out? What else do you need to turn the tide? Why aren't you doing the things that you know you should be doing? This is the fall of man. We are a great generation that has gotten to a point to where we pretty much know everything. But how many of us apply the things that we know to our lives? Only a very few of us. And the few that do are the few that succeed leaps and bounds. And we wonder, how did they get to where they are? It wasn't because they knew anything different than what we are able to know. They didn't have any secrets to success. The only secret to success is apply the knowledge that you know. And the application of knowledge at some point would turn into wisdom. People ask me all the time, how do you know what you know in herbs? How do you know all this stuff about the body? It's information that's out there. I learned it. I didn't grow up wanting to be a doctor. Never, still don't want to be a doctor. But I had to learn what I need to learn to better myself. I had to understand at some point in my life that health was the number one priority. It wasn't a job. It wasn't being married. It wasn't even having kids. It was being healthy. It was being healthy enough to understand that even if I didn't get married, if I didn't get a house, if I didn't get the job, if I didn't have the kids, that I still needed to live as long as I possibly could. So I had to learn how to get longevity in my life. I had to learn how to eat. I had to learn how to drink. I had to learn how to move about my everyday and create this exorcism that will take out all of the demonic thoughts and the bad thoughts and the negative thoughts and all of this stuff off and around me. And so I had to take little pieces of all this information that's out here. I don't just believe in astrology and that's all I do. I don't just believe in, this and that's all it is. I take pieces of everything that benefits me and I put it in a ball and I allow it to benefit me at different sectors. So I know when to pray through astrology. I know when to fast through astrology. I know when to take the herbs. I know when to move and exercise. I know when to meditate. I know when to take a break. I know when a vacation is needed. I know when my body needs to fast. I know when I need to do something because I've been sedentary too long. You kind of understand that it's all about the timing of things. So it's not about overly consuming, but it's about understanding these different levels of knowledge so that when the time is needed for you to do something, you know what to do. I call it preparation. So I'm always in ready mode because I have the right knowledge to be prepared for whatever situation comes. And so that is what this is all about. Mental disorder, misprioritization in the psychological aspect of our beings. Not putting ourselves first, but at the same time doing everything possible for ourselves and our loved ones that we have. You're working your butt off, but that's just what you're doing. You're working until you fall dead. But work on yourself. If you work on yourself more than you want to work on a job, you may not need the job. You'll find that when you better yourself, you now can be one who delegates work for another. You may be the one that creates work for another. This is a why not video. Why aren't you doing what you know is right in your heart of hearts, in your mind of minds, in your soul of souls? Why are you not taking care of yourself? Why do you think that you're going to bounce back from all of these different things over time? You keep beating your body down with long hours on the job. You keep beating your body down with all of these toxic things, all this toxic environment that you're in. You keep hearing the wrong things. You're around the wrong people. The wrong words continue to penetrate your heart and your mind. And it's beating you down constantly, beating you down constantly. And you don't know how to break out of it. Yes, you do. But you don't. Why not? Why not? Why not understand that you have the fortitude? You have the strength. You have the knowledge. And if you don't, then you seek it to find the way out of the rat race. Find your way out of the maze. Find your way out of the matrix. Get out of harm's way. Circumvent diseases. Better yourself and elevate your mind and elevate your understanding so that you can supersede working for someone, but you can start creating for another. Manage your households so that you can manage on the jobs. Manage in your own business. Manage your bills so that you can build your finances and your wealth. This is a why not video. Why aren't you doing what you know how to do? Once we get the answer to that, once we check ourselves, once we evaluate our own priorities, hopefully you'll find the way. This is your homie Herb, man. I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And until next time, peace. Yes, sir.